stand in the back of me to hold the chair.
Alright,
So I don't.
ready?
Thank you. Okay, good evening all, please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all for coming, November 4th, Selectmen's meeting. Roll call, John Hotchkiss here.
Joe Bailey here.
Jim Knapp here.
Okay, first please, minutes from the last meeting, October 28th.
I move everybody's read these, right?
I have read them already. Yes.
Move we accept the minutes from meeting of October 28th, 2009.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Good, opposed? Thank you. Okay. Sale of municipal property at 111 New Portsmouth Road.
Alright, so this is the deed, I'll notarize it after you guys are all done signing. And then you guys also have to sign on you're the witness, but that's what you sign too.
No, this is cool.
Joanne.
Yes, sir.
Good evening. Under the heading of none of my business, how are you gonna move that trailer?
I haven't figured it out yet.
Is there any metal worth to it?
I have no idea.
Okay.
We haven't even had a chance to look inside it to see.
It'd be pretty scary looking inside,
I'm
probably.
sure, but
Yeah.
oh,
All right.
one step at a time.
Yes. So, we are signing the real estate transfer tax declaration of consideration real estate seller, grantor. We accept. This is for the property at 111. Compare signature, no, I guess we only sign in one place. Kathleen, does that sound right?
Yep, you're gonna sign that page of the CD 57S. And then you're gonna sign on the deed itself, the quick claim deed.
In fact, that's who the deed was still in his name.
Perfect, thank you.
All right. Grab for a bill, either one. Oh, I guess just chief, anyway. A long time ago in the military, you guys know already, the correct way to pronounce nine was niner. They still say niner? Like if you're going to a fire or a police call at 91 Elm Street, you'd say 901 Elm Street. They don't say niner anymore. You remember this? Oh well, things have changed. Anybody still know the alphabet?
Yes. Start with an A, I think.
Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, Echo. They probably changed them all by now. Okay, here we go. Fire edition. Anybody up for?
Fire edition. Lighting is done, electrical is done. I have security, we're waiting for security to move the key fob system. American Security has been there. As soon as they get freed up for a day, they're gonna come and do it, it's ready for them. Heat is, we'll deal with that tomorrow, as far as getting heat in both places, which is huge. The heat has hold up the floor covering and the actual move-in. Now, I did want to tell you, Bill, that I've got keys until security comes, because he was busy, he doesn't know when he's gonna get there. I do have keys, so you can always secure it. Okay. I'll get you a copy of it, I got a couple right now. Okay. So after that, it's ready to go, I think it looks good in there.
The problem with the heat.
So the problem with heat was, back when the
Perkins?
concrete was going to be taken care of. Perkins had to call DigSafe. So part of the DigSafe thing was Dead River, his name was on the tanks, they called Dead River to come out and mark out the lines instead of asking anybody else. So Dead River decided that, okay, we'll turn the tank off, we'll dig down underneath, we cut the line, we plugged one in, but left this one open and shoved it in the ground. So, gas line's full of dirt. Now, go over on the other end, behind the fire department, the 3/4 inch riser that comes up with the union, the valve was wide open, disconnected from the union. So all summer long, it's been raining, and what happens, we get water inside the gas line now. So, Friday I went down Dead River, got some pieces together, hooked it back up, and turned the gas pressure off. I had water going everywhere. It was a geyser coming out of that pipe. It quit. Okay. So I shut it off, build up pressure, I go over to the trailer, disconnect that union, open that valve, and water going everywhere. So the water has backed up from the fire department all the way back up over the hill towards the tank. And it's got as far as that T that goes over to the little trailer. At this time of year, to replace all that kind of stuff like that, with the extra, more construction going on, it's not worth it. So I'm gonna get some copper tubing and run it from the tank to the little trailer, and from there I'll tee off and go all the way around behind and sleeve it in conduit to the fire department. And at that point, rehook it back up on a temporary basis until next year when we redo the piping, because that gas piping cannot be used again. It's contaminated water, and if any water gets inside that second stage regulator, it freezes, and if that orifice in there gets in the open position, it'll build up pressure from the regulator into the appliance. If it goes over half a PSI, now the appliance can pop, now you get gas going through the burner unrestricted. It'll be a gas leak. So,
Okay, so the last time I knew, I knew a majority of that story. So I called up Dead River, they're coming out tomorrow to blow out the lines, and the guy that did it was the one that was supposed to come out and put everything back, because he already knew that that was done.
Well, that's why I'm gonna be here tomorrow, because I don't think we should have to pay for Dead River.
And they were not gonna charge us, plus I've already arranged with Paul to come up here to open up the station for that time. But you're telling me that you worked on that?
yeah,
Okay, well, I shut it down tonight because it's leaking.
okay,
Because when we came out of the station, all I could
Yeah,
smell was
okay.
propane.
okay.
Went over there, saw that it had been dug up, temporary thing put in there. And I shut it off because it's leaking.
Okay.
So, when did you do that work?
Sunday. I helped you put it together Sunday.
Okay.
There's no gas today,
Oh, yeah.
so I still.
Well, I
Dead River
arranged
here
Dead River to
straighten
come.
it out.
Were you gonna tell me that you had done the
I don't
work?
need anything to tell you anything, honestly.
Okay.
Did you think to tell everybody here that you called Dead River to get the thing fixed without us knowing of? That this has already been in the works,
Well, I did text you
so.
to let you know. I asked about it, then I told you that it was gonna be, Dead River was gonna come out and they were gonna take care of it on the 5th.
Well, I don't want a technician who left a line wide open exposed to the dirt to fix anything. I don't trust his work if he done that. So I don't care who's coming back, I don't trust him to do it right. I'll take care of it.
So, but we've been without heat in that fire station for 4 weeks now. It's
Okay.
below 50 degrees inside that station. State says we have to have it a minimum of 50. So, when you say that we're gonna have heat, what are we talking?
I just told you, have it on Wednesday.
Okay.
Now, just to clarify, I told Bill to go ahead and call Dead River. As a fire chief, kick some people into a rent.
Right.
So I'll take any responsibility I have to, but I'll give him,
The only thing Dead River should come back to do is next summer, or next spring, whatever, come back and replace the lines.
well, if we need heat.
If they don't wanna do it, then that's fine,
Okay.
but then you'll have heat Wednesday, so,
Joe,
yes.
before you just talked, you said there was concern about any water that gets into the system. How does blowing it out, guarantee there's no water in the
It
system.
doesn't.
I know when you blow water out of a pipe in a house, you hope it's out, but not necessarily.
You don't get all the
Right.
water
So I don't know how Dead River's saying, oh, we'll just come blow the line and then everybody will be happy. I don't think we will be happy.
We probably won't, but it's also their responsibility to do something. A good technician wouldn't have left
Yeah.
both ends open.
No.
That, Joe's 100% right, that's scary. But
Yeah.
we also, how many thousands of dollars we pay these people? We need
Right.
service,
Yeah.
or they're gonna hear it. I
How
don't
long,
mind telling them.
how long ago was that capped off, or
Uh,
whatever they did to
Oh,
it?
when you started digging?
Oh, so this
Dick
was
said
recent.
all summer long.
Okay. I was just thinking if it had been a while, maybe they'd send a different technician. If you don't want the same tech, that's reasonable, but,
Yeah.
you know,
But even then, it's their business, who they send as long as it's done.
Right.
right.
So,
Should we have checked it in June? We didn't need heat in June. Sorry, you know what I mean? Nobody thinks about heat till it's cold.
they'll take care of it on Wednesday and it'll be done right. Okay. All right, anything else? I noticed that someone painted the red trim around the new door.
Ken Anderson did.
This could be a budget item for you folks for next March. The two lights that I think you installed for the addition look really nice. Any thoughts of more lights?
Yes, Bill and I had talked about something decorative over the doors.
All right,
The soffit doesn't extend, so I can't match it.
okay.
Something decorative, a lot nicer looking than that big old high pressure sodium light
Okay.
up there.
One other thing about construction, there's a new small entrance on the side of the addition.
Yeah.
Is the door that used to be the outside door, is that now gonna be removed and made bigger and?
As soon as we get heat, we'll open that up. Or as soon,
Okay.
actually, what's holding that up is security.
All right, so that's
So
still
as soon as we
coming.
get security or go to the manual key, we can start opening the hole up.
We already cut out the 3 lockers. so
I saw that,
there's no
guys.
room to do
And
that.
also, while we're on this subject, we've got a dumpster over there,
Mm.
so anything you wanna make disappear, we knew the police department, highway department, we've already got one, but it's a big dumpster and we just built it.
Yeah.
The debris from, the debris from cutting the wall, that dumpster.
Oh, you saw plenty to do with it.
Wasn't there a bunch of stuff up in that attic as well?
There's a lot of miscellaneous stuff up there, so definitely.
It's not what I expected up there.
Right. I haven't been up there in probably
Yeah.
5 years, so,
Yeah, I was up there just a little while ago, I expected a whole lot of stuff and it really doesn't.
yeah.
So,
You guys in the highway, wanna get rid of anything, or are you all right?
Pretty much all
All
set.
right,
But now's the
Police,
time.
anything?
We might have a few things to
okay.
contribute. Some old clutter.
ACO car, maybe?
Yeah. If I could pick it up,
Save it for metal collection.
yeah.
All right, if that's it, I believe the highway department did some test digs for us.
Yep, for the
Thank you.
septic system. Highway department did the test pits for Jones and Beach. I got a text from him that everything looked normal, it's just some fill involved, and by the end of the week, we should have something, a preliminary review.
Do not get our hopes up, but are you still planning in spring, or is it a possibility that if the winter
It's
is
a real
somewhat mild, you can do
possi-
something?
Real possibility, depending how big a system it is, how much money it is. Then we're gonna have to talk logistics. The trailer's gonna have to get out of the way. You know what I
Alright.
mean? It's just, other things get involved. While we're on the subject of septic systems, Old Town Hall has a two tank system. You got surge, you got effluent. The pump the effluent to the leach field, I think is not ready. So I've got LaPierre coming in sometime this week, to either bless it or give me a price
All right,
to replace it. I hate to put money in that pump because if we get a new system, it goes away. But I just found that out Sunday, so we'll just have to
all right.
let it go a little bit until we figure out what to do.
So just keep pumping it out.
I'm
Until
thinking
we
it's
figure-
$1,000 for a
okay.
pump, and if we gotta pump it 3 times this year, we're still ahead.
Yeah.
Pump it out
Yeah.
and replace it next spring, if we gotta wait till next spring.
Ed, you put in a few septic systems, yes? Is it possible, depending on weather conditions, to put in the septic system in, December.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this still could happen.
Right.
So what I'd really like to see is definitely some alarms. The reason nobody knew about the Old Town Hall, they got no alarm.
Yeah.
That could have not worked forever. No idea.
Right.
$1,000 sounds a little high to pump that up.
Well, not pump out, to put a new pump in. By the time you pump it out, buy the pump,
Okay.
buy somebody to install the pump.
So basically just do 2 or 3 pumps in the wintertime,
That's what I'm thinking.
a couple, $200 a piece, whatever it is. So
It doesn't get used that
Pump
much.
it 4 times, you're gonna spend $1,000.
Right.
I'm thinking a couple $100 to get it pumped.
But I would,
250, 280, 280 maybe.
Last year was 250 for up to 1,000 gallons,
Okay.
a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much, that's.
So we
the
could do
average
this
now.
3 or 4 times, as opposed to throwing a pump, put a pump in and throw it away next year. Or,
yeah, I would almost guarantee, you can correct me, if you put a new pump in now, in the springtime, and they built a new system, they'd want a new pump.
oh yeah, because on the new system, where it's so big, so many people involved,
Right.
it's gonna be a time, they call it timed surge. In other words, they don't just flood the leach field, it goes on a cycle.
Okay.
X number of gallons and then it's rest, X number of
Yeah.
gallons and the rest.
All right. Cell tower. You ready for this? The cell tower is ready, but the cable going to it is not.
No fiber optic. Have you heard anything, Joanne? No, the last I heard from the electricians down there was possibly towards the first of the year.
Oh, jeez.
So, once we see the line trucks on Ridge Road, it's closer.
I'll call John Stevens.
Is this a classic case of the left hand not knowing what the right hand is doing?
Pretty much,
It seems like that cable could have been installed
They could have been doing it all.
long before the tower was brought in.
There's so many different people involved, and
Right.
contractors, and somebody may have dropped the ball.
How does that affect a possible open house celebration of the buildings?
It's not gonna work.
No. I talked to Owen Smith, who is the AT liaison, whatever.
I'm making the ice
So
cream.
basically, he said at this point, they're still like 3 weeks to a month out on making any decisions. So he said we touch base at the end of October,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we're probably looking around the 1st of December, so everybody was talking about anyhow.
Yep.
If
Right.
it's that soon. He's gonna let me know, he said probably, yeah, he'll let me know by tomorrow or by Wednesday for where they're at.
Okay.
So,
All right.
Yeah, it's just, it's
Okay, thank you. All right, department heads, first of all, thank you all for coming tonight, it's an off night, and we do not automatically assume you have nothing to do on the first Monday of the month, but here you are, so thank you. Town clerk, tax collector, what's up?
Not much.
Here's her reports.
Any,
She does have an audit report that, from motor vehicles, her audit report, that she failed miserably.
No, I didn't. I passed it with flying
Yep,
colors.
she did.
so basically for the month of October, we took in $108,244.11. That's everything, tax money, dog licenses, registrations, everything. Hunting licenses.
good? Everything's working all right?
Yep, the quiet before the storm, tax season's coming.
this is her audit, right?
All right. That's it, police, please. You were here last week,
Yes.
didn't you get one last week?
I didn't have all the stats because the month
Okay.
hadn't concluded yet, but for the month of October, we investigated 56 incidents, had 3 arrests, 1 for involuntary emergency admission, which was a suicidal subject, a protective custody, which was an intoxicated person that was unwanted at a person's house, and then a violation of a protective order. We made 84 motor vehicle stops, I was able to break that down so you know what it is. 77 warnings, 7 summonses, which included unregistered vehicle, 5 for speeding, and 1 for uninspected vehicle. Additional things we were involved in. I had the department participate in Operation Safe Stop, which was to assist school buses to keep the morning commute safe so buses weren't getting passed. So we got a certificate of appreciation for helping with that. And we assisted with the trunk or treat, which was a great event for the town, and we were happy to be part of it. I'm also going to present the ACO's stats for the month because she couldn't make it today. She had 3 calls for service, 2 dog calls that were lost and 1 cat call. So that's about
Was the
that.
cat lost?
Might have just been confused, I'm not sure. But she helped it anyway, so.
Okay, all right. In terms of stops and arrests, forgetting about the traffic that cuts across for just a moment, there are 2 ways to get from basically Farmington to Wolfboro, the front way or Route 11, Route 28, Broadway. Do you think people that have trouble with their car, like not registered, do you think they think, oh, we'll just take the back way because nobody will find us? Yeah, you can
Possibility,
find
yeah.
them. You know, it's pretty hard to figure that they would
Yeah.
come through a small town, there aren't that many roads, there's a pretty good chance you're gonna
Right.
see a police officer on the main highway.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Especially
small
when that's
towns
where
you
the
know
police
there's
department
speed
is.
traps.
Right, yeah. I don't think they know where we're located.
Yeah,
They're kind of hidden.
okay. All right, that's it, thank you. Fire.
2 different,
Sorry, I forgot to put them together, fire and EMS. That's my bad.
Word of mouth thing. So fire calls, we've had 3, EMS calls, we've had 13. For the month of October, you'll see on the second page, Jen Osborne putting a lot of our old incidences. That breaks it down kind of a year to date as far as building fires, chimney fires, medical assist, power lines down, all those things. So, so far this year, we've had 1 fire alarm active. This month, we've had 2 medical assists. Year to date for fire has been 63, EMS 105. So pretty much on target from last year.
So what do we have for fire alarm activation? The mill?
Well, we've got the mill, but we also have other people who've got fire alarms in their
Oh,
houses.
like in the house stuff, yeah, that's wired in, okay.
Yeah.
that's what smoke detector activation
Yeah.
would be.
You guys got called out on the trees down on Kings Highway?
Yeah, we,
Equipment is going all right? The 3-4 trucks? Yeah,
yeah.
good, all right. Did you make it through the summer with no forest fires?
Correct.
Yeah.
There's actually, I wasn't gonna say anything about it until snow, but.
Unlike California that's had 1 or 2.
Yeah, and normally we'll go to probably, you know, anywhere from 6 to 10 in the course of the summer, but we had great rain
Yeah,
it was beautiful weather this whole
Right.
summer, so. Yeah.
So we at one point, you were talking about your radios, your portables.
Mhm.
How are we sitting now with those?
We're good. We have mostly new ones for all the members. We still have 2 members that have older ones, but from what I understand, there are no issues. We have 4 spares right now. So
4 spares, but are they used?
yeah, they're used.
Okay, so the good ones are out and being utilized. So basically, we're looking at your budget towards the end of the December and see what's left over to possibly buy 1 or 2 more if you need it.
Yeah,
Spend it
and
all.
we've gotta buy some gear, you know, gear's pretty expensive, but.
So, and the bunker gear you said you're getting for a couple of people?
Yep, 2. They're still on order. It's
Okay.
just taking, they have to build it through Globe.
Right.
It's a process, so. Yeah, that's still on order.
again, more curiosity. Some states send people out west to help battle the big forest fires. Does New Hampshire? And is it ever possible someone from Middleton could go, or you have to be a full-time paid firefighter with special training?
No, so New Hampshire does send out a bunch of guys over the course of the year. They're specialized, so you'd have to go to special training for it.
and then pass a test, and then you go out west.
Who pays for that when they go out? Is New Hampshire?
No,
They
the
pay out
feds
there,
do. Yeah.
just, they have.
Depending on where the fire is, so if it's at, if it's on federal land, federal pays for it, if it's a state, then the state pays. California would pay for
So there's no one on your department ready to jump out on an airplane and?
it. They brought it up. One's yes, one's no.
All right, conservation, anything from anybody? I'll take it as a no. Code enforcement. John, how we doing?
Pretty good. Two things I want to bring up. Well, I did a 10-day class, an all-day class for health to start out with. It really didn't set me on fire as to what we were looking for in the town, but they requested that I be there. I spent 7 hours trying to stay awake, but I got a little bit out of it. It wasn't, they were talking about, they had a lady there that was talking about tiny homes. What had to do with health, I have no idea. They were giving trailers away in Detroit, or tiny homes, and she talked for 2.5 hours on tiny home. And why am I here listening to this? And I asked them at the end, and they kind of got a little huffy.
Might not be invited next year.
I said, I'll be quiet until after lunch, then I'll say something after lunch. Building permits, they're on a steady diet. What I wanted to bring up to you is I submitted to you people a change in the fees on the building permits. And I haven't heard anything back from you. If you,
I'd like to get together with you, go over
Okay.
those.
because I think we are actually losing money on permits. It's costing us money to send me out to do, if I go out more than once on an inspection, it costs us money.
Is that something we should do at one of our meetings? Just plan it?
I think so.
Not this one, the second one.
It won't take us long, because I've got all the information. I've taken information from 4 different towns, basically our size, compared to what they're doing and what we're doing. I tried to eliminate the ones that were ridiculous and tried to fit a kind of a medium. And we're not that far off, but some of the things we're not charging anything for, we should be.
About the next meeting that we have, Monday night meeting.
Mhm.
Next week is Veterans Day, the week after that is the third Monday when the budget meets and we don't.
Well,
It's-
we may have to postpone it because I'm going in for surgery next Thursday.
Some people
So-
don't anything to our meetings.
Yeah, I wouldn't know what I was talking about.
Perhaps December, or it could be January if you're.
Yeah, that's
need
fine.
Time to recuperate.
I shouldn't be that far out of it.
Okay.
That's about 2 weeks to 3 weeks, I should be able to sit down with you and go over it.
When you think you're ready, please get together with Kathleen and tell them, just put it on the agenda,
Okay.
and we'll take one of these meetings to go through it.
Okay, the other thing is, I've had a couple of people asking me about the situation at the end of 153 with the used car lot on the left-hand side.
Oh, John Fournier.
Yes. I checked with the state, they do not have a license to sell vehicles. They do not have a license to sell parts. They do not have a license whatsoever with the state of New Hampshire. If that's the case, then he's violating our ordinance on junkyards. I've got 2 folders upstairs that were worked on all the way back to 2009, that he's been to court on how many times with the lawyers from Middleton and Wakefield. It's gone over all kinds of stuff. I thought they found him guilty, but he hasn't paid a cent in fines, and he's still operating and doing whatever. I'd like to know if you would like me to pursue this further.
Yeah, please do. you're right, this has been going on forever, and I thought he found a legal loophole to keep doing what he's doing, but perhaps not. There's been no court settlement or something that would.
I don't know how he's getting away with it, because it's a $275 a day fine that goes all the way back to 2009.
But the courts never found them guilty of anything. Is that correct?
The thing that they didn't find him guilty of was the preamble of the town
Perambulation.
lines and where his property was in relation to Wakefield and Middleton. That has nothing to do with the automobiles that are in there. There's almost 50 vehicles in there now. And they're still
Clearly in
coming.
Middleton.
It is in Middleton.
Yeah, it is,
Another
yeah.
preambulation,
Yeah.
that he is in Middleton.
So
So,
I would like to be able to pursue that and
please
see.
do, yeah.
So before
See
you
where I
go
go.
much further, I think back in 2016, I don't remember the date, but it's in 2016, that he was told that he could not do that. And he's been accumulating fines since then, and we just never followed up on it.
Fines from whom?
The court
All right.
basically said was being fined, that he needed to stop what he's doing, whatever. Somewhere in Kathleen's office are some court records.
I have the two folders upstairs and I've
Is that
just started
2016?
going through them.
Yep, it goes back to 2009 actually.
I would like permission to call the town attorney and the town attorney over in Wakefield, because he's the one that represented both towns at the time. I just want to be brought up to speed as to
Yeah.
what was going on.
Jim?
I think that's, should be done, we just have to make sure we back John,
Yeah,
what we gotta do.
yeah.
You say he's being fined, is that by the town, or is that by the state?
Well, if the court finds him, it's their responsibility to take care of him. But if he's breaking an ordinance, a town ordinance, then he owes that money to the town. And what you do is have the town lawyer put a lien on his property. And if he doesn't pay it, it just keeps going on and on and on. And whenever it passes, then the whole property belongs to the town.
Now,
Along with the cleanup.
what is the ordinance, is it more than 2 vehicles unregistered, or?
Any more than one unregistered vehicle.
The only
So if
thing
you
I-
have two, you're over the limit.
The only thing I'd like to see is it across the board. If you're gonna
I try and do that.
do that to one guy,
I try and
do it
do
to the
that.
person with 3,
Yep.
not 50, you know what I mean? I think,
I have a question of Janelle and then you. Has there been any effort made by John Forney to register 10 or 15 vehicles?
I don't even know who he is.
He likes to shuffle them around, so he'll pull one plate from one car and put it on another. That's how he deals with it.
There's no
So
plates on a lot of the cars now.
No, there is no plates, but that's how he usually does it. Like if he gets a new car, he'll transfer the plates from one vehicle to another. She hasn't been here long enough. I know, he's been doing it for a long time, so,
Right.
yeah.
You say the court fined him, which court, state court?
I don't know, that's what we're gonna try to
That's-
find out.
I believe it's the district court up in,
Rochester.
yeah, what's the name of the town, the next town up there, beyond Wakefield, Ospey. District court right on 171, right off of 171,
Belknap County.
Carroll County. Because they were brought through Carroll County. All right, so if we're gonna do something on our own, then we have to do it through our lawyer and go through the process again.
But with the process, if he wants to have a business here and have all those cars, he has to believe, he's never come to the planning board as well to register. He's not registered with the state, he has never come to the town to get set up as a business and all that paperwork for the planning board, that's never been done. So whatever he's doing is completely not legal in the town of Middleton.
Right. I checked with the Department of Safety, and they have nothing with his name in there, absolutely nothing.
Go ahead.
Well, I don't know if this is applicable or not, but if he's operating a business without the legal procedures proper, then an injunction for him to
Cease and desist will happen.
I have 23 different ordinances and state things that he has to follow. He hasn't followed a one. So that's what I would like permission to move forward and see what I can do on this.
Rick, I'm looking around the room, you and I have been around about as long as anybody. There's always been cars there that I can remember.
Yeah, as long as he's been there.
Yeah.
I think he's also got a main address too.
He does.
He done a, Wakefield dealt with him forever,
Yeah,
and then we got blessed with him, and I guess he proved his case after all this time. But that was there well before he even started trying to claim residency,
Yeah.
so. I think at one time he
If I
moved some
remember-
vehicles from one town to the other,
Yeah.
he thought he was on the line, he was moving stuff from Wakefield, getting
Yeah.
mad, he moved it on our side.
Then he was using two Johns as a thing, he was dealing through two
Yeah.
Johns.
yeah.
I don't care who you're dealing with, those cars were in Middleton.
Ed?
If Wakefield went after him, they probably can't do nothing to him if he's in Middleton.
No, they can't.
Because Carroll County can do whatever they want, but
Right.
they
He's
have
now
no
in Stratford County.
jurisdiction in
He's in-
Stratford,
Yeah,
so.
he's in Stratford County now.
If everything went through Carroll County, then that's gonna be all null and void.
So, if I remember looking at the paperwork correctly from the district court, it was out of Rochester, and I think our attorneys have been involved in it, so call Mitchell Group and find out where we're at with it.
I wanna talk to
And
Mr.
have them-
Sager and I wanna
have
talk
them,
to.
whatever's legal, make a cease and desist and
Yep,
stop it,
I agree.
so.
Joanne, more?
No,
No.
just,
Okay.
no.
All right, thank you. Yep. Okay, yeah, I could do a highway next, sure, let's do a highway.
Ed's got a pad going on, so.
I got a couple of things, but he's got more updates on everything he's been carrying the ball on this summer, so. The only thing I got is the snowmobile people, Powder Mill, they complied with what you wanted to do, they did get the signs ordered. They actually wrote us out to check and give that to Kathleen today. So when the signs come in, she did put that in our sign budgets, when the signs come in, we just pay for it out of our budget, but they did right off the bat, get right after that in a hurry, so.
Excellent
Yeah,
job on their part, the Powder
Yeah,
Mill.
yeah, they did. And the other thing, one of the things I got is, about a year ago, we had an inspection on the highway garage by the insurance company.
Mhm.
Came in and did the inspection, which the inspection we was rated pretty highly on, we did well on that. A Couple of things they wanted was, one, they wanted to have battery disconnect switches on all the vehicles over there. Because most of the fires that were happening in highway garages were from the highway vehicles, wiring or whatever it was, but that's what most of them were from. We were already in the process of doing that, I think we had one truck already done.
Yeah.
When he showed up, so we was even more impressed, but we're just getting the schedule to get it done.
Is that like a manual disconnect
Yeah.
every night?
Yeah,
Every truck?
every truck.
Yeah.
Yeah, and, now you can order your trucks with them on them now, so it only makes sense to do that.
Right,
We're really short money. The switch that he recommended we use is the switch that we already had in the other truck, so he was impressed with all that stuff. But one of the things that he did mention that he also wanted to see us to do, and at that time we knew it was a budget thing, and it's still gonna be a budget thing, he'd like to have some kind of fire monitoring system over there, so if anything happens over there, you have a light on the building, you have something automatically dials somebody, like somebody dials Stratford Dispatch, or someone in the highway garage, or some kind of a monitoring type system for the building over there. And at that time, we said it was gonna be a budget type thing. I didn't know if you wanted us to try to work on getting a number for that.
please do,
And
yeah.
Eddie mentioned something about maybe, we don't know, but Jim likes to try to keep things all together, maybe the security system that you're working with,
That's just
Now-
what I was gonna suggest.
maybe they could give us an idea on that, and, so we can get something together for town meeting in March.
That's just what I was gonna suggest. I'd like to get American Security involved in the whole town. We've got
Yeah.
3 or 4 buildings, we should
Yeah.
have 3 or 4 different outfits.
No, that sounds good, so then,
And I'll get together with you, what are they really looking for? A red light bulb, that's going back to the 80s and 90s, I think we could probably do a little better
Something
than
a
that.
little more,
But idea
yeah,
is there.
I mean, he mentioned a few things, because obviously, right now, anything would be better than what we do got.
Because that plays into the old town hall flooding, the old town hall heat. There's a lot of things that should be monitored.
Yeah, and that stuff, maybe you could get it, the same idea on like we were talking about with some kind of lighting for when the pump don't work in the cellar over there, or the heat's not on in the building over there, or something that we talked about before, just, it didn't get done the last time that they were working on the building over there, but something that would help, because somebody's not even in there every day. Obviously, we're around there every day, if there's a red light on in the building, like we talked about that one down there, okay, something's not right, we'd be able to figure out what it is. So, I guess we'll,
Yeah, I'll chase some of that.
And then the other thing I got is the pit up on Kings Highway. It's gonna be due for an AOT permit. Has to be done by the end of 2020. We have no idea what that's gonna cost. I know you don't like Norway Plains, but again, maybe Eddie talked to
Jones
people that
Beach?
designed the system, yeah.
Now, what is an AOT permit?
Alteration of terrain, I
Yep.
guess,
Almost
there's different
mine.
stages of it. I don't know exactly which loop we gotta jump through. I would assume that we gotta go through the big loop this time with, you know, how much material has been excavated, so there'd be a lot of surveying type stuff being done. As far as the property being surveyed, that should be simple. That's been done. The pins should still be there. We ain't starting from square one. Last time we had this done, if you remember right, it got done at no cost to us by the state of New Hampshire Damage Bureau Division. They were storing that material and they were kind of bought some stuff out. And so that's why I have no idea what that'd be. So I'm thinking maybe we ought to try to get a number on that also, because maybe something you might wanna put in the warrant article, or there's something that you might be able to get through your blood grant, but I have no idea what it is, so it may be a warrant article thing, you know, so.
I think it's definitely worth talking to Chris Albert from Jones Beach. Just get him involved. He's,
Eddie did mention, talk to him, and they told him everything that they did do, and that's one of the things that they do, so again, yeah.
Again, a one-stop shopping.
I wish I had an idea what it would be, but this is gonna be basically one of the first ones we gotta pay for, so I have no idea what it'd be.
We'll find out and I'll get him involved with you.
Sounds all right, yeah. That's the only couple things I had. The rest of the stuff, Eddie's been working right along with all these people, so he's got more updates on that and more up to speed than I am on all of them, so.
Before he begins, anybody here ever been in the New Durham pit besides you two? You have. If it's open for the rest of us, try to get in there and look to see what's been done. It is a huge pit, but a good portion of it has been already reclaimed. So it's not like there's erosion everywhere. You folks have done a lot. The part I'm gonna say, you no longer dig from. That, what way of saying it?
Yeah.
That there's grass growing or some type of plant life to prevent from the erosion, and a lot of it looks very green. So thank you for keeping track of all that.
We've had a lot of good comments on it from other people that have gone in other towns in New Durham. It's in New Durham, obviously, and they got people that keep an eye on stuff too. And the biggest concern right when we started here was to keep the silt out of the brook, but that little stream down the bottom.
It's the best looking pit I've ever seen.
We've done all that, and we haven't had anything, nothing leaves off the site. Everything gets filtered down through it, it doesn't leave the site, so. I'm not worried about having somebody come in and do an AOT permit in there, because that stuff is in good shape. Just a matter they need to know what we're taking out, so.
Years ago, Rick, you were instrumental in getting that property, correct?
Well, no, it was here when I got here, but I didn't know about it. I was here for 2 years before I realized it was there. There was a loader sitting in the middle of the pit too.
You don't have to answer this, but New Durham ever wish they had it?
Oh, many times.
Yeah.
Many times they wanted to have it back. And,
Yeah.
you know, they stripped most of the, we went in there, stripped most of the loom off it. They just didn't want to put the, you know, all the stuff we had to jump through even then, to put in a pit. They just didn't want to bother with it, you know, it was in their own town, and they come up with all kinds of heavy regulations. New Durham's got their own regulations on pits in their town, to kind of try to make it a little harder probably for everybody, including ourselves.
Right.
So we just jumped through all the loops they wanted, and did everything they wanted according to their laws that they wanted in their town, and to make it through all the inspections so far to date, every time. It's something they want to keep, because there's still quite a few years left to work. Material out of it, when that's gone, it's, my price of gravel being trucked in here, I mean, even the sand, it's a big benefit to this town to spend what they need to keep it, because you got a long time left up there.
Is it true that most towns truck in?
Oh, yeah.
Like Milton?
Yeah, Milton, they buy their sand off Las Vegas, New Durham, theirs is trucked in, their gravel's trucked in. They've lost what pits they've had, they mined out, so they're starting to feel that brunt of buying it and having it delivered. Yeah.
Ed, you had input?
Yeah, it's been a couple months since anybody's been here from the highway department. As you know, when we started our road construction projects, we were pretty late getting our bids out there. Unfortunately, we haven't seen any work done on that yet. The culvert work that we wanted to do, I don't believe is gonna get done.
This on New Durham, on Newport's
Ridge Road.
Ridge Road, okay.
Just, it's too late in the season to start something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, get halfway through it and not being able to finish it and clean it up for the winter.
And that has an effect on any type of coating, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, anything they do, crossing roads and driveways will have to be patched back in with
Right.
pavement and so forth if it's there, so. Talking with the contractor, we felt that it's probably just as well to postpone that till next spring. The money will roll over. Hopefully the town will be generous, give us another 200,000 next year, then we can do the whole project all at once. So,
These are non-lapsing articles, I
Yes.
believe.
Yeah.
The warrant articles.
As far as the paving, they're supposed to be here on the 6th. I'm not very confident on that, but we'll just have to wait and see.
So there's still time to do some shim.
Still do
coating?
some shim overlay paving.
Okay.
Get New Durham, New Portsmouth Road on the hill. There's a couple of places we need to patch up. New Portsmouth Road on the hill, spot on Kings Highway, and then Lake Shore Drive needs to be overlaid. We'll see how that goes. It's getting kind of late. One thing Rick and I were discussing, there's a possibility of some snow showers the end of this week. If they don't get here to pave and we have to treat roads, how's the salt gonna affect it?
Yeah.
So we'll have to cross that bridge when we get to
Okay.
it. Not sure just exactly what's gonna happen.
If we have a contract with, I assume it's Pike, to do X amount of work, and it doesn't get done, is that contract valid for next year, or it has to be renegotiated?
They would probably renegotiate the price. They've been pretty good with us.
Alright,
I'm pretty sure if they can't get to it this year, they'll do the best they can.
okay.
Had a long-standing relationship working here.
Yep.
They're pretty comfortable to know that they can come here and do the work.
Yeah.
So, and we've had issues before and they've stood behind it.
Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised, the other theory is, like you said, if you get another 200,000 this year at town meeting, you're gonna extend that project. So now, we all know how it works, if you're putting out 1,500 ton, you're putting out 2,500 ton, you could be surprised, and maybe the whole thing may come down.
Yeah.
Too, you know what I mean, your price per ton instead of $72 a ton, may come down, because you've added another 1,000 ton, just
Right.
maybe, you know what I mean?
I can make you slime.
Excuse me, Joanne?
I'd like to commend the highway department for the work they've done on the side of New Portsmouth Road, trying to keep it from completely
I'm trying to
coming
fix the
apart.
hill too.
A question for you though, I was wondering, where the water cascades down the side of the road like that, would some kind of water bars in the ditching? Is that-
Actually, there's riprap all the way down that hill. It might be a little tough to see it, but it is there.
Road
So,
and stone,
uh,
there's road and stone in the bottom.
The ditches themselves don't wash out any deeper. And
It's
The
the end
water
of the
bar is
road.
basically gonna hold dirt back, and a lot of times, if you're not careful putting them in, sometimes they cause more trouble than they're worth.
I can see where that road's gotta be a thorn in the side for you guys sometimes, I'm sure.
The hill is a lot of maintenance.
Imagine when it was dirt.
It's much better now than it
I
was
remember when the
30
Probably
years
washed
ago.
down the middle then.
The property we own down there, we looked up the old deeds, it sold sometime in the 1800s around December. They didn't record the deed until I think May or June, they probably couldn't get
As
out.
I said, probably couldn't get to it,
Yeah.
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 Alright, more? Or-
Oh, plenty.
Okay, stay seated.
We did finally get a mower sent over this way. We, as we talked about before, we split the trucking with New Durham. They ended up getting it first. They've still got it. Not sure exactly when it's gonna come our way. Last we knew, it was broke down. So we're still up in the air as to whether or not we're even gonna see that. If we end up getting snow and it don't go, we're probably not gonna bother seeing it.
How does that affect us if New Durham and Middleton agreed to rent this? New Durham rents it and uses it, and Middleton doesn't get to use it.
He broke the deal, we already got him. He was supposed to have it 2 weeks.
Yeah,
He
he's
did it over
supposed to
the
keep
other
it 2
day.
weeks, he told us the other day he's keeping it for 3.
Oh, so
Well,
make
he
sure
had
that
his
deal.
third week after we do our 2 weeks. but-
Alright,
like I said, we haven't seen it yet, so
Okay.
whether we pay the trucking back or not.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not looking very promising right now, so.
No.
So that's still up in the air. Gaff Tech and Jeff Jacobs both did some work on the fuel station. The breakaways have been installed on the fuel lines, and the shut-off switches on the side of the building. We're working on getting some signs to mark the fuel shut-off on the building and another one on the station itself.
Alright.
Dictating where it's at, and we'll go over all that with all the departments once them are in place.
Okay.
Obviously, we're getting everything all set for winter, seeing how we got possibility of snow. And the cell tower, we talked about that earlier. Blue Sky did get in touch with us when they were finishing up, just to make sure that the site was cleaned up to our satisfaction. They did a good job. Everything's nice and neat and clean that they did down there, so we're all set with that. And same thing, they're waiting on a fiber optic line to come through.
Is it fenced up, fenced in there already?
It's all fenced in and everything, yep.
Yeah, that's good.
Yep. Basically, the only thing they gotta do is get the fiber optic into the site, connect it, and it's done.
Is that gonna have to go underground like the other wires?
Yep, the conduit's already in.
And you can run it that distance?
Oh,
No problem?
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Japanese knotweed, all that stuff got treated. Burke's Tree Service, I believe they were up in Drew Estates Monday and Tuesday of last week. So hopefully they back up there this week doing some work.
In conjunction with that, the selectmen just received a bid from Burke's for the police chief's parking lot
Yeah.
area.
Yeah.
Okay, so,
He did
that's
get
been
that
approved.
to us.
Alright.
So all that's kinda heading in the right direction. Pleasant Valley Road, we did get that use easement taken care of, that's all done. Turnaround's done,
Okay.
so we're all set
What
there.
about the one down there on Governor's Road?
That one, we still have to see which way we wanna go with it.
That one, we just wait till next year. We got him, he came in here pretty hot-headed by the time we're done.
I know, but somebody
we
was
got
supposed to go
blessed.
down and meet with him and stuff like that, talk about what's going on like that. Did that ever happen?
What about what?
You got it here.
About the
We had a meeting
turnaround?
here.
Yeah, you can-
about it.
Okay, well.
Yeah.
No, you didn't make it, I don't think, Joe. He came
No,
in
you
here.
and I were here.
No, that's what I'm asking. I
Yeah.
don't know what the results
Yeah, we
are.
did meet with
Result
them.
is, yeah,
There was some things that we discussed as far as, what to do moving forward, but I think this plan will kinda hold off.
So we'll be able to use the turnaround this winter or
Oh,
no?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
It was real negative at first for a while, then he come around and he said he moved it by winter, and I think he moved it like 2 days after the meeting, and the truck was gone, and we're all in
Yeah,
good
we
shape.
weren't here for that, he didn't like that.
Yeah.
That summer was, nice guy.
Okay.
And I think in some form or fashion, we should try to
That's so.
work towards getting,
That's so.
legal rights to use it, whether
But I think for
try to
this
come
year,
up with
we
a
just
number to
use it.
purchase it or however.
Yep.
Yeah, we get through this year, then, because he agreed that he just won't have to jump through all kinds of loops, but he's willing to sell the property out front that we use, we figure out what the value is, and he's worked on some stuff, but I think we'll carry that ball in next year. We're all set for now, next year maybe carry the rest of the way, so you can get the same kind of easement you got down on the end of Pleasant Valley Road. And it'll always be there, so nobody will have to deal with it again, you know what I mean?
So, are you suggesting a warrant article for the March meeting, or the following year?
I don't think you're talking a substantial amount of money
Okay.
for that piece of property,
Yeah,
it's
right.
only a small piece.
Yeah,
I think there's already been some numbers thrown out, it's not a lot of money.
okay.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna add up to a lot, I think
Okay.
we'll have to wait and see on that.
And on my road, just, you mentioned that there is, the gate is put up down there,
Okay.
and that was donated by American Building Supply. The
There's a
gate
turnaround
cost,
now.
yeah, the gate cost us nothing other than
Yeah.
putting it in, so that was pretty nice. It's a nice gate, he's happy, so
Yeah, he's been to
happy
several
about it.
selectmen's meetings, very cordial.
Yeah.
Chief, without getting into the details, no problems down there now?
Oh, it's substantially quiet, I can tell you.
Yeah,
Much better.
good.
Yeah, than it is, other than hunting season. Now you know why they're going down there. They're going down there to hunt. Before you didn't know why they were going down there, but had an idea why, so
Right.
it's much better.
Okay.
I think that about covers.
Oh, I have a question. Now I have to ask. How many people sitting here have heard this question? Can we get another year out of the salt shed?
We're gonna have to, we're gonna buy another $30-40 top and top the roof, and that's gonna be our done for the,
Okay.
thing for the
Right.
season. But yeah, you definitely gotta get on that. We've had some ideas and some talks about different things on that too, and I still stand the same way I did before. And as far as going down there and putting a shed down there, it's gonna be, you know, before we could almost say we might be going down there in a year or two. Right now, I don't think you could say we're going down there in 10 years, to be
Yeah.
honest with you, because of the feeling of the public and money you've spent on your firehouse now. I mean, we're probably gonna be committed to where we are, so
Right.
I think the next thing is thinking about maybe finding a way to put a salt shed over there, which there is a way to do it. But the other main concern is changing the building around some, so the offices are towards the front, so people
Right.
don't walk around that equipment.
Yeah.
We talked about that safety factor before, so it's not just a matter of throwing a salt shed up over there, it's a matter of some other things that should happen before you think about that. And I think you know as well as I do, I don't know, it'd be nice to utilize that. That was the game
That's
plan
right.
for the last 14 or 15 years, but
All of that.
now to go down there with just a salt shed, we're talking, like we said, we was talking about another piece of equipment. You got something to load the trucks with, you got something plowing the road up here, taking care of this, loading trucks, and there's a lot to it. It's not just store a shed here and then we're gonna be good, you know, so. Can we get by this year? We're there.
We're going to.
So, it's too late to do anything now, we'll just do the best we can with it, you know?
I'm looking ahead to the March meeting. Do we need a warrant article?
Uh,
Look at a new shed.
It may not hurt, we got some numbers to kind of go by, we don't have updated, but there's some paperwork we got over the
Okay.
office over there, which was the same design that Wolfboro had at the time.
Good.
And I believe that's something that would work there. As far as the other part of the building, well, we're just gonna take some time and some contractors to come in here to give us some ideas on what that would cost too, you know?
Okay.
We were kind of forced in this kind of direction now, because
Yeah.
what are you gonna tell them now? Because the first thing they're gonna ask you, if you tell you you're gonna put a fire department over there, that's not gonna happen.
So
They're gonna ask you what you're gonna do with this nice fire station that you just did now.
we're
So,
gonna use it. Yeah.
yeah, we're kind of,
Yeah.
the plans have changed substantially.
Okay. All right.
And I think part of it depends on, the septic system. How big
think
it
that's
is, how
huge.
much room it takes.
But I think Jones and Beach might be somebody talking about the salt shed or the overall future plans.
Yeah, and you
That's
know,
what they
when-
do, is work for municipalities.
From the sounds of it, you'll have a septic design quick enough. There's probably enough time to get budget numbers for a salt shed, I'm sure, for that anyways. And maybe even possibly getting an addition towards the street end to get the office out of the back side of that building.
Mhm.
You guys have all walked through there at times.
Yeah.
I think it's only a matter of time before somebody's gonna run into a plow for, lane.
Yeah.
I know I've dodged it a few times, and
It's pretty tight in winter time.
I don't envy the person that does it, 'cause
I don't know if there's one of your wing plows has a huge dent in it. It's where I hit it with my head.
yeah.
Head's okay, but wing
That's what did
plows.
that?
Yeah, it's not what it used to be. All right, so we done?
I think so.
All right, cemetery. I ask this about every month. I'm about ready to submit a warrant article saying that it be dissolved. The trust fund, capital reserve trust fund, be dissolved, okay? It's up to the voters to decide, but I've yet to hear a single concerted effort to do something else, so.
How much is in the trust fund?
$15,000.
How much
I
money is
believe
it?
it's 15,000.
15,000, okay? And the selectmen cannot merely take it out of there and do something else. It requires a vote of the people to in effect dissolve that trust fund, then it goes into the general fund, all right? Joanne?
I was just about to ask what you plan to put into the warrant article for where the funds are to go.
I have to check the wording in the warrant article. I don't know whether we are supposed to put in a new use or simply put it into the general fund, okay? Anybody remember?
I think if you dissolve it, automatically it goes into the general fund, but I
Alright.
could be wrong.
Okay.
You can, I think you'll have the option of doing that, or you can repurpose it for
Or you can
another thing.
repurpose it,
So,
if you wanted to.
or you want the 15 from the cemetery and put it towards the fire department, you can do that.
Or salt shed, you know, there's
Yep.
some choices coming up, okay? Alright, so, assessing,
I don't have anything, no.
okay. Animal control officer, kinda covered that already. Later on, we're gonna look at a bid for the old ACO vehicle. Zoning, I serve on the zoning, things are quiet at the moment. Zoning board meets only as needed as people request variances or exceptions. I think the last one we did was over on, must be Nicola. I don't think we've had one since then. Was there another one?
That lady, but we don't know.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
but it's been quiet. Treasury,
No, nothing.
health, John just did that. Planning board, anything up?
No,
Quiet.
last meeting, basically didn't have enough people to have a quorum, so we had to cancel it, so.
Alright. Bill, I think you did EMS already, that's done. Welfare, you got
I have a
something?
couple applicants that I'm working with right now. It's actually been very busy, and then we have the Toys for Tots that just went out through the school. I'll be getting together with fire department with that and everything. And then Tim is gonna help me too.
Our welfare budget is still good,
Yep.
fluid, and so forth. Good.
Yep.
All right. Emergency management, Chief Cooper,
Good on
we're all
that.
set?
Yep, we're good there.
School board? All's quiet?
All's quiet, we have a meeting Wednesday night.
Okay, good. All right, unless there's more old business, I'd like to move on to old business. Jim, the Old Town Hall septic, I guess you already talked about that.
Covered that, yeah.
We're good? Heating bid for the fire addition, that's different than getting heat. This is a bid to increase the amount of heat available in the building because of the addition. Okay,
Yep.
what do we have?
Let's run over that. We've got one bid. And it's sealed. And the bid is from Joe Bailey. Joe Bailey Heating Service respectfully submits a bid of $2,600 for fire addition heater to include an Empire DV55E space heater and 3/4 inch black iron gas pipe for the expansion of the water heater. $2,600.
All right, the question, is this a unit that goes down the floor or up where the ceiling?
It's exactly the one that it's your.
Okay, all right.
Exact same thing.
At the beginning of the meeting, we talked about getting temporary heat into the building. How does that affect this one? You run another line over to it?
The line is going into the Modine heater and the existing
All right,
firehouse. I'm gonna tap off of that, come across the back of the unit, go up over
Mezzanine?
the mezzanine.
all right,
And at that point, that water heater's gonna be in that spot, okay, so I'll leave a T with a plug there for when we install the water heater.
all right.
And then I can cross over and drop down in and come over in behind the heater. So you'll probably see maybe 2-3 feet of black iron pipe.
Do you
That's
need us
what
to move anything on the mezzanine, because we do have some stuff?
No, I'm gonna have everything right close to the mezzanine. Actually, it'll be strong enough if you wanna hang stuff up, well, you can, so.
I won't try it.
No, but it'll be all 3/4 inch pipe, so there'll be plenty of gas, and the small piece coming out, I'll probably, reduce down to 1/2 inch. You'll have the shower valve that's outside the heater, not behind it, so you have access to it. That's what I'm saying.
And by, I think you said by Wednesday, there'll be heat back in the building.
Both the trailer.
If this is approved tonight, any idea of how long before the next heater is in? You probably have to have that before you put the ambulance in there.
You would,
Would that be correct?
no, if we cut the opening like that big heater will give enough heat out there.
All right,
It's just
So-
that one bay when it gets like really sub-zero outside and stuff like that, there's gonna be a stretch for that Modine to circulate that far out so that heater will help. But-
well, I'll get into a specific timetable. You talking a month to get, you know, eight,
No,
take
probably
a month?
a week or two.
Oh,
My
okay.
schedule's cleaned up to the point right now, I got a week or so, I can,
All right.
you know, it'll only take a day and a half to do it, so.
I'll get with the fire department, if we can deal with security, we can probably start opening that hole up quickly.
Which would help with the heat.
Yes.
But we still have to get this one in.
On the floor.
Yes,
Yeah.
eventually get this, the new heater in, but if we can get the existing Modine and the hole in the wall, if we can buy a little
I
box,
dropped it.
All right.
get some heat out to the addition, it's gonna be better than what we got.
All right, any thoughts from anybody about the bid? Okay, this is to install another propane heater in the new bay. Of all the vehicles, I would say the ambulance really needs its own heat because there's chemical medicines that need to stay at a appropriate temperature. The other place, the trucks can't be freezing because of the water in them, but there's other stuff in the ambulance that needs to be kept track of. All right. Thoughts from anybody? All right. Well,
I move that we accept the bid.
I will,
Can't second
you're
it.
gonna recuse yourself. I will second the bid. Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye, opposed? All right. You got it? Do we have to sign it or whatever, and he's off and running?
I would sign it, just so we have it.
I'll be glad to sign it.
Let Joe sign it too, why is that? Actually, I already did, you put a signature there.
Just for clarification, that bid is basically cost on the heater and the piping, there's no labor, so, obviously.
I know the problem.
No, that's fine, I mean, if that's all part of taken care of.
That's just silly.
so.
I don't want to put labor in it.
Over the years, having had heaters installed in my properties, I can tell you that bid is not representative of what it should be. Okay, it should be higher, so, thank you.
Very nice.
All right,
Okay,
air conditioning office vehicle.
that's it, you got it. We got one, unless you got any, you didn't get any at all.
No.
One it is.
Open that one. Can't
Go for it, you got it in your
can't
hand.
reserve just
Go ahead, you got your hand, go for it.
Did I do it upside down? Yeah, probably did.
What year is it? 2000 what?
2009.
Oh, nice.
2009?
Fuck it.
It's a Ford
Explorer.
Explorer.
Yep.
Okay.
Why not, yeah, I can have a Ford and a Chevy in the backyard match, and
Why is it not?
they won't pass inspection.
2-door or 4-door?
I'll change my name to somebody
Gotta get
else's.
those speaks and things.
Stop, Ollie.
And before you hear the bid, I haven't heard it yet, but I have to say, the vehicle as it stands now cannot be inspected. We're not talking high quality here, we're talking pretty old, rusted frame, among other things.
Service
Okay?
purpose.
Go ahead.
Okay, this is the bid. I, Sierra Pownell, am bidding $300 cash on the 2009 Ford Explorer XLT.
Let's go to all the tires are worth.
What's that?
Has she looked?
She has. She went,
has?
she
People don't
went-
realize Sierra is the new assessing clerk upstairs that we hired, so.
Yeah, I want this all out in the open.
Yeah.
No checks from her.
Okay, that might cover that might be the cost of what the tires are.
Anybody can answer, Rick, anybody. If you simply scrapped it, you get about the same amount of money.
Maybe even less now.
Less.
$60 a
Less.
ton, I think, what they're getting right now from metal, is what I heard,
Okay.
so it's down there quite a ways.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
So we made out.
Yeah, it's a little ahead of just scrapping it, okay?
An extra $50 is all.
All right, yeah.
So
Okay,
I'll make a motion that we accept the bid for $300 for the 2009 Ford Explorer XLT.
I'll second.
okay, any other discussion? All in favor? Aye, opposed? Chief and Kathleen, you work together to
Yep.
get the necessary paperwork and get it signed
Do I
off?
have the title or
and-
do you have the title?
We're all
I have the title.
set
Right,
with
but
it?
I'll look.
Okay.
Okay.
Did they?
I'll see you in the morning.
Yes.
Yeah, she's so funny. Sure, we have something.
Chief Cooper, whose responsibility is it to tow it out of there? You probably won't start it anymore, will it?
I started it the other day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it started right out.
Okay,
It
so
might-
now the
might need a
battery
jump,
works,
Yeah.
so that's where.
We'll help her out.
Yeah, no, we'll push.
Yeah.
Push it down the street.
Good ball.
All right, good.
Didn't say that.
Okay, Planet Aid Station. This is not the same as Planet Fitness. Planet Aid Station is a yellow box out there, kind of between the fuel station and the highway garage,
Good job.
where people are supposed to leave clothing and shoes. Emphasis on the word supposed to. Who cleans up all the crap that's left there? You guys?
Well, we've been kind of fortunate, the guy does what he can, he takes most of it, sometimes he ends up doing some of the stuff in our dumpster. Well, as you can see out there now, there's quite a mess going again.
Okay.
What that's all about, he must have got the letter, it's nothing, we got no control over it, they decided it's not worth doing
You know
anymore.
why that's picking up over here?
Huh?
Because when you put fence off the one down there in Rochester, they can't get it dumped, so bring it up here.
Really?
All the Salvation Army.
Salvation Army
Oh, I see.
in Rochester has a huge piece of property. The building is kind of in the center, and they had several dumpsters on their property. It got to be such a headache that Salvation Army put a huge 6-foot fence all the way around their property, and nobody gets in there. Now it gets dumped outside of it, no. But clearly, they've had enough.
Well, I think they're just saying that it's not, it sounds like they're gonna pick them all up, everywhere.
Yeah. Oh, I think so.
It's not like it used to be when they first started, it's not cost effective for them, so it sounds like they're gonna kind of basically, they're gonna just disappear and go away. The only concern I got about that is, hopefully that the people, I mentioned to her, maybe we should put it on the website, that it's gone, and it's not coming back, cause some people are gonna see it gone, oh, they're gonna bring it back, and they're not gonna bring it back, we'll have a pile of stuff over there, so, best we can do, you're probably still gonna have some of that.
I'd keep an eye on your dumpster for a little
Well,
while.
that's the other thing too, and obviously there are other companies out there, I think we looked it up, I think there was one like Goodwill, but do we wanna bother? That's, you know what I mean?
Goodwill, you can drop stuff off at
Any
their
other
places,
you can, so, yeah.
nicely regulated.
Yeah,
Wasn't downtown Rochester kind of the one-way section, the building's been empty for a couple of years, it was
Ben Franklin.
Ben Franklin. There used to be a series of them there. I'm not sure they're still there,
yeah, maybe not.
because for the same reason, all that
There's junk everywhere.
crap gets
Yeah,
left
look,
there.
there's a nightmare over there.
Alright, so the intention is to, it's gonna be taken away.
Yeah, we got no control. They
Okay.
sent us the letter saying they're gonna disappear, we couldn't say, no, we'd like to keep it, and we had no option. The letter states that it's not cost effective, and they're gonna come get it. That's the way it is. It's not something
I
that
don't
we
blame
did.
them.
Right, not something we did, it's just the company.
We see this stuff outside. I wonder how much crap is pushed up and in from the, to fill up the inside of the stuff,
It's
dinner
not funny,
plates or
but-
something.
You can only imagine the crap they have to wade through. I would do that for nothing.
Speaking of all that, how are the 2 aluminum containers working? All right, or is that a headache as well?
No, that seems to be pretty good since you got the Boy Scout leader, the newer one, because we've been doing pretty well now for a few years. We had a couple, few years ago, but lately, we haven't had to call them. They just, somebody's monitoring next, and will come in, and one of them will be emptied out completely, and the other one partially, and they've been taking good care of it, so.
All right.
It's been like that for a while now. That issue.
So we're okay with that?
Yeah, we seem to be. That's helping out the Boy Scout troop, I think 188, I
Yeah, I
believe it
think
is.
so. Yeah.
So anything to help them out with, they get the money for the
Okay.
cans, and way it goes.
All right. Anybody else, any other thoughts on that? It's unfortunate, but
Yeah.
like so many times, good intentions get spoiled by bad usage. All right, more. I would remind everyone that next week is Veterans Day, so there's no meeting. The week after that is the third meeting of the month. There is no, the third Monday, no meeting. It's the budget hearing. Okay, the budget meetings. So, anything else going on? Ed?
You did mention earlier that we got the quote for the trees down here.
Yes.
Is that something that you're gonna act on?
Yeah, I've already signed it.
Meeting, or-
Yeah,
Oh, you did?
yeah, we approved it.
Um,
I think
Just out of
20,
curiosity, where was the money coming from?
2,400?
2400.
Yeah.
Highway department's right now.
Right.
We didn't know what
I
your building
agree.
maintenance line looked like, but
Yeah, yeah, and
just didn't know if that's something that would work that way, or you
We
definitely
do
want to
have
figure
a
it out.
building maintenance line for this
after
building,
this building, yeah.
so we can take it out of there,
Yeah.
like, if we have some in there, otherwise it's coming out of your budget. Make sure of it.
We're split, hey Rick, we're split it with you.
We're just curious, cause,
I just wanna know, that's all.
getting towards the end of the year, we gotta try to figure out where we're at.
All right.
I mean, we do have.
We
a
could be
building
alright,
maintenance
too,
line,
so,
Right, we're-
either way,
Yeah, I think they need to come down before they,
well, I think the chief would appreciate it, I guess.
Drop on the
You start to get
cars.
acorns falling on stuff, plus it's gonna help all the leaves out there that plug up what drainage you
Right.
got out there.
And just to clarify that bid,
all right,
I believe it was stated on there, and did you approve the whole thing? Because there were some trees out front. That you bid on too, right on the corner of the intersection.
yeah, yeah,
Some ash trees and a poplar there that are starting to
yeah,
go away, so if
okay.
he's in the area, he might as well.
Don't we
get
have
one.
a Christmas tree if I was in to
The Kathleen, you'll notify
I'll,
Burke, so
yeah,
they'll,
I'll let them know where it's coming
and
from
then
too.
when it's,
Sure.
I'll
when
get
you get here,
together
you
and
let
just see
the,
what you got for money and.
I'm almost positive it could come out of the building maintenance and we'd be completely fine here,
give the,
this building, so,
police department some heads up as to when they're coming, so they can
Yeah,
get all the vehicles out.
definitely.
Right.
Yeah, that's what we talked
They
about.
need some money back, they need detail, don't they?
That's right.
Yeah.
The other thing about that is, just like anybody else, they're behind.
I was just gonna say,
Weather-wise, plus when we get windstorms like this, you know where their priorities are.
Oh,
It's out there on wind damage,
Yeah.
this business is business.
We're running out of season, and do what
Yeah.
you can do.
How much was that quote for?
24.
I think it's 2,400.
Hey chief, don't they need details for as long as they're working here?
Yeah, they're going to.
A little bit,
Yeah.
back some of that money.
Yeah, right?
I'll call
Shave it off.
tomorrow,
Yeah,
just
thank
schedule
you.
that
All right,
and see if I can get them
I'll,
in.
I'll take care of that.
Oh, you're gonna schedule, okay,
We'll see how they can do as far as getting it this year.
okay, and then I'll let you know what line.
That's gonna be a tough one,
the line or cutting them down?
getting them done this year.
Oh, yeah.
And just go for it. Find out.
Yeah, they're already in town, down the street.
So
now.
they say, the pruning was kind of a priority. We got some trees that we'd like to have down too, but we kind of basically lean them towards getting the pruning part done and the trees as we go. But obviously, we can get, if we can get them in there to get them down, we can probably wait on some of the stuff we had side the road too, you know?
Question with no answer. Who gets the wood? Town trees.
They haul it off, or they can leave it there for somebody if you want them to take it, but usually they clean it all up, so I mean, it's.
If we cut up a tree on the side of the road, we leave it there and hope somebody steals it.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Good to know.
maybe
Basically,
make
lots
a,
of
make a
land.
pile
Yeah.
of the wood and
Yeah.
somebody take it.
And
Yeah,
lots of
lots of
land,
land.
which is the town
Us,
center,
right.
so, yeah.
School district.
There's
School
plenty of-
district,
No,
right.
maybe that is the town right there.
I know Roger was doing a lot of tree cutting, a lot of cutting wood, but I don't know how he's doing on that anymore, so, that's some of the stuff that he was doing.
Who's that?
Roger Means.
Oh, yeah.
Him and his buddy was cutting up wood.
It'd be nice to see somebody in town get it,
Yeah.
because why not?
I'm sure there's plenty of people, we've talked to a lot of people heating with wood stoves and,
At one time, we thought we would put some wood down at the,
yeah.
down here, the pit, I mean,
Yeah.
whatever, and have it ready, if somebody wanted to, ran out of oil like that and had a wood stove, they could come grab some. But, I mean, that's a lot of work to cut, split it, stack it for somebody, and it'll probably disappear real quick then.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, that's what we
Yeah,
always
that,
said,
you
you
know,
know.
letting somebody come in there and cut it up, you kinda gotta be careful liability wise on some of that stuff too.
I'd rather just see it disappear, so.
That's what Eddie said, that's, you know, you leave it there for a
Sounds
landowner.
crude, but it seems to be the easiest way.
Now, Chief, speaking of that, should we be asking Burks to kind of leave it at roadside versus the edge of your parking lot? I mean, how many people are gonna be willing to come in with police cars taking what looks like free wood?
That could be tricky. I mean, if it goes up by the curbside and doesn't get picked up and then we get snow, that's gonna complicate things
Yeah.
for these guys, so,
In that case, I'd tell them to take it.
yeah.
I'd be
Oh,
hard
you
pressed
would,
to
wouldn't
steal
you?
from the police department.
Seriously, anybody know about it? No?
It burns wood.
You're nice enough to
I
come to the
know a
meeting.
couple people that
If you
probably
know some
did.
people, that can be here the day after.
They can be
And,
here the same day.
okay, then it could be piled wherever's convenient for Burke's, and, you know, the truck and
Does it
take
get
it.
cheaper from them not taking it? We get a discount?
Yeah.
Cause they
Oh.
they don't sell it, so we should,
I don't think Burke sells it, I don't know
No,
what
they
goes
don't.
with
I
it.
think we just wanna pick out.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just wondering.
So,
Oh, yeah.
all right, anything else? You've been most patient with me grunting and groaning here with the leg, but we're doing well. All right, any further business? All right, motion for adjourn.
Make a motion at 7:50 to adjourn.
All right, second, all in favor? All right, thank you all.